2025 Detroit Lions Depth Chart. Hall of Fame Preseason Game Preview. 2025 Detroit Lions Depth Chart Update. Hall of Fame Preseason Game. As we gear up for the 2025 season, every game featuring the Detroit Lions will come with an updated depth chart reflecting the latest insights from practice sessions. In preparations for their first preseason matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers, the Lions have announced their intention to rest several players who participated heavily in Tuesday's scrimmage. This decision could see approximately 25 players from the 90-man roster sitting out. Quarterbacks: 3. Jared Goff, 16. Hendon Hooker, 2. Kyle Allen, 8. Throughout training camp, the Lions have been alternating Hooker and Allen between the second and third teams. Although Allen is slated to start this preseason game, Hooker has demonstrated superior performance over the past 8 practices, earning him a higher position on the depth chart. Running backs: 7. Jahmyr Gibbs, 0. David Montgomery, 5. Craig Reynolds, 13. Sione Vaki, 33. Injured, hamstring, limited in practice. Kai Robichaux, 25. Injured, undisclosed, left practice on Monday. Jabari Small, 42. Jacob Sailors, 48. Signed on Tuesday. The Lions would likely prefer to rest Reynolds on Thursday, but with Gibbs and Montgomery expected to sit out, and Vaki and Robichaux dealing with injuries, Reynolds may need to step up and take on more reps, especially since Sailors has only recently joined the team. Wide receivers: 11. WRY Amon-Ra St. Brown, 14. WRZ Jameson Williams, 1. WRX Tim Patrick, 12. Khalif Raymond, 11. Isaac Tesla, 18. Tom Kennedy, 85. Dominic Lovett, 19. Jackson Meeks, 83. Jacoby Keeney James, 80. Ronnie Bell, 10. Malik Taylor, 86. With the 4 returning wide receivers likely to rest, the Lions are expected to prominently feature their rookie wide receivers. Kessler has been managing an undisclosed injury throughout camp, but has persevered and is anticipated to continue participating. Tight ends: 5. T.E. Sam Laporta, 87. T.E. Brock Wright, 89. T.E. Shane Zylstra, 84. T.E. Kenny Yeboah, 88. T.E. H.B. Zach Horton, 40. Zylstra has emerged as the leading candidate for the TE3 position, but Yeboah has an opportunity to reclaim his spot with a strong performance. The veteran must also keep an eye on rookie H-back Horton, who has arguably outperformed expectations in camp. Projected offensive line: 16. LT Taylor Decker, 68. Active PUP: LG Christian Mahogany, 73. C. Graham Glasgow, 60. RG Tate Ratledge, 69. RT Panay Sewell, 58. 6th offensive lineman Dan Skipper, 70. The Lions' anticipated starting offensive line is expected to rest, along with veteran Skipper, who has been filling in for Decker at left tackle. However, there remains a possibility that Skipper may be called upon to play, as the team has only 9 other reserve offensive linemen available, which may not suffice for 2 complete lines. Projected starting offensive line for this game: LT Giovanni Manu, 58. LG Natane Muti, 52. C. Kingsley Egwakun, 65. RG Kyoda Awosika, 74. RT Jamarco Jones, 72. Projected reserves: C. and Guy Michael Neese, 62. C. and Guy Tristan Colon, 67. T. and Guy Colby Solstall, 75. T. and Guy Mason Miller. Injured: LT Taylor Decker, 68. Active PUP: target return date after Hove game. G. Miles Frazier, 71. Active PUP: if Skipper rests and the Lions need a player to take on the entire game, Giovanni Manu is likely to be that player, as they aim to maximize his reps. Defensive ends: 8. Aiden Hutchinson, 97. Marcus Davenport, 92. Al-Quadin Muhammad, 96. Injured, undisclosed, limited in practice. Ahmed Hassanain, 61. Nate Lynn, 57. Mitchell Agude, 50. Isaac Ukwu, 45. Injured, Josh Pascal, 93. Active NFI. Target return date: September, With their top 4 edge rushers either resting or injured, the Lions will depend on Hassanein and a trio of players who were on the bub. Each of these 4 will have the opportunity to prove their worth and secure a spot on the team for 2025. Defensive tackles: 11, NT DJ Reader, 98, 3T Tyleek Williams, 91, NT Roy Lopez, 51, DL Pat O'Connor, 95, DL Keith Cooper, 64, DL Chris Smith, 90, NT Raekwon Williams, 76, DL Miles Adams, 66, Broderick Martin, 99, injured, DT Ali McNeil, 54, active PUP, target return date, October, DL Mackay Wingo, 94, active PUP, target return date, September, DL Levi Onwuzurike, 78, reserve PUP, his season is over, with as many as 7 interior defenders available. It's plausible that Lopez or O'Connor may receive some veteran rest during this game. Keep an eye on UDFA rookie Cooper, as he has been performing better than anticipated in camp. Linebackers: 10, Mike Jack Campbell. Will Alex Anzalone, 34, returned in full, hamstring on Tuesday. Sam Derek Barnes, 55. Will Mike Zach Cunningham, 52. Will Grant Stewart, 15. Sam Trevor Nowaski, 53. Anthony Pittman, 41. Will Ezekiel Turner, 47. Mike Will Darren Gilbert, 43. Injured. Will Malcolm Rodriguez, active PUP, target return date, October. It will be intriguing to see if Cunningham receives some veteran rest in this game. If he does, the Lions may opt to forego using a Sam when Nowaski's day concludes, instead leaning towards more nickel formations. Cornerbacks: 10, CB Terrion Arnold, 6, injured hamstring on Tuesday. DJ Reed, 4, returned in full on Tuesday. NBCB Amik Robertson, 21, injured. CB Ennis Rakestraw Jr., 9, injured chest, limited in practice. CB Rock Yassin, 23, CB MB Eric Hallett, 36, CB DiCaprio Boothel, 17, CB Tyson Russell, 35, CB Nick Whiteside, 38, signed on Monday, injured. CB Khalil Dorsey, 30, active PUP, target return date, late camp. With the top 4 cornerbacks likely to be sidelined or nursing injuries, this presents an opportunity for depth players to compete for the final roster spots in this position group. The wildcard here is Hallett, who could either start on the outside or in the slot at nickel, depending on the Lions' decision regarding veteran safety/nickel Avonte Maddox. Safeties: 7, S. Brian Branch, 32, Kirby Joseph, 31, injured, knee, avoids major injury. S. NB, Avonte Maddox, 29, S. Maurice Norris, 26, S. Dan Jackson, S. Lauren Strickland, S. Ian Kennelly, 27, injured, undisclosed, limited in practice. Maddox received significant snaps during the Lions scrimmage on Tuesday, indicating he may be scheduled to rest in this game. However, with Branch and Joseph resting, Hallett moving to corner, and Kennelly returning from injury, they may need Maddox to step in for some snaps. If Kennelly is fit to play, Maddox will likely be sidelined. Specialists: 3, P. Jack Fox, 3, K. Jake Bates, 39, LS. Hogan Hatton, 49. With no competition during camp, all 3 specialists will need to perform during the preseason. In summary, take a look at the Lions' projected depth chart for this game. 10 must-watch Detroit Lions position battles in 2025 preseason opener. Get ready for a thrilling preseason opener as the Detroit Lions take on the Los Angeles Chargers in the Hall of Fame game. While the starting jobs may be largely secured, several depth roles are up for grabs, and the competition is heating up. But here's where it gets interesting. The outcome of these position battles could significantly impact the team's overall performance this season. As we dive into the top 10 positions to watch, keep in mind that the preseason is the perfect opportunity for players to showcase their skills and make a lasting impression on the coaching staff. So, let's dive in and explore the key matchups that will determine the Lions roster. First off, the backup quarterback position is one of the most critical battles to watch. Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen have been alternating days as the backup quarterback in training camp, and both have demonstrated their ability to handle the offense. However, when the game is on the line and the pressure is mounting, it's a different story altogether. Will Hooker's growth from year 2 to year 3 be enough to secure the spot, or will Allen's veteran experience give him the edge he needs? The answer to this question will have a significant impact on the team's overall strategy. And this is the part most people miss. The wide receiver 6 position is also a highly contested spot. With the top 5 receivers almost certainly set, the competition for the remaining roster spot is fierce. Dominic Lovett, Jackson Meeks, and Jacoby Keeney-James have all made a splash in the first week of training camp, while Tom Kennedy is a reliable option on offense, albeit limited on special teams. Meanwhile, Ronnie Bell has yet to stand out in camp, but his NFL experience could give him an edge when the lights come on. It's a tough call, but someone has to make the cut. The offensive tackle 3 position is another area of concern, particularly if either of the starting tackles goes down. Dan Snipper came into camp as the heavy favorite, but his struggles in spot starts have raised some eyebrows. Giovanni Manu is an exciting prospect with impressive measurables, while Jamarco Jones has 6 years of experience under his belt. Could Detroit consider upgrading this position, or will they stick with what they have? The answer to this question could have significant implications for the team's offensive strategy. But here's the thing. The backup center position is also up for grabs. With Graham Glasgow closing in on the starting job and rookie Tate Ratledge back at guard, the Lions need a reliable backup center. Kingsley Eguakun, Michael Neese, and Tristan Colon have been rotating daily as the backup center, but there's been no noticeable separation between the 3. Thursday night's game will be a huge factor in determining who gets the nod. The backup guard position is another area of competition, with Netane Muti, Kayode Awasika, and Colby Sorsdal vying for a spot. While Ratledge and Christian Mahogany have the starting jobs locked up, Miles Frazier's potential injury could leave a gap in the roster. Muti and Awasika bring valuable experience to the table, but Sorsdal has a lot of work to do if he wants to make a difference. It's a tough competition, but someone has to come out on top. Now, let's talk about the edge defender 4 position. Ahmed Hassanain, Nate Lynn, Mitchell Agude, and Isaac Ukwu are all in the running, and each player has their strengths and weaknesses. Hassanain's endless motor will undoubtedly endear him to the coaching staff, but he needs to learn schematic discipline quickly. Lynn, Agude, and Ukwu all impressed in the preseason last year, but they'll have to contend with the new rookie on the block. It's a competitive field, and the outcome is far from certain. The defensive line depth is also an area of concern, particularly with Josh Paschal, unlikely to be ready for Week 1, and Levi Onwuzurike out for the year. Pat O'Connor is close to locking up a spot on the roster, but undrafted rookie Keith Cooper Jr. and 2023 UDFA Chris Smith have both shown an ability to play up and down the defensive line. It's a tough competition, but someone has to make the cut. The linebacker 6 position is another highly competitive spot, with Trevor Nowaski, Anthony Pittman, Ezekiel Turner, and Deron Gilbert all vying for a roster spot. If Malcolm Rodriguez were healthy, there might not be room for any of these linebackers, but with him expected to start the season on PUP, it opens up 1 or 2 spots. All 4 players have shown an ability to play on special teams, so the deciding factor may be how much they can contribute on defense. It's a tough call, but someone has to make the team. The cornerback 5-6 position is also up for grabs, with Rock Ya-Sin, Eric Hallett, and DiCaprio Bujal competing for a spot. With Terrion Arnold, DJ Reed, Amik Robertson, and Ennis Rakestraw assumed to be in, there may only be room for 1 or 2 more cornerbacks. Ya-Sin has a strong early lead, but Hallett's recent move from safety to corner adds more intrigue to this competition. It's a competitive field, and the outcome is far from certain. Finally, the safety 4-5 position is also an area of competition, with Maurice Norris, Dan Jackson, Lauren Strickland, and Ian Kennelly all vying for a spot. Assuming Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and Avonte Maddox are all in, does that leave one or two safety spots left? If it's just one, it may go to 7th-round pick Dan Jackson, simply because he's a rookie with plenty of special team skills. However, Norris, Strickland, and Kennelly have all made plays this camp, both on defense and special teams. Will one be able to eclipse Jackson, or will Detroit try to fit a 5th safety into the mix? The answer to this question will have significant implications for the team's defensive strategy. As we watch these position battles unfold, it's essential to consider the broader implications for the team. Which players will rise to the challenge, and who will fall short? How will the coaching staff's decisions impact the team's overall performance this season? These are the questions that will be on everyone's mind as the preseason gets underway. So let's get ready to rumble and see which players will emerge victorious in these highly contested position battles. But here's the question. What do you think? Who will come out on top in these position battles, and how will it impact the team's overall performance? Share your thoughts in the comments below.